Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeagueUnited with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
Hello, 안녕하세요. Welcome to the K-League United Bunker Edition with Matthew in the outpost that is Suwon World Cup Stadium, where Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors came away 3-1 winners. Matthew, let's get started with the thing that we all have to get started with here, which is the fact that there was a very interesting choice in net for this one. No Dong-gun has been all right for Suwon, and when I say all right, I mean that they've had the league's best defense. And Yang Hyung-mo gets the start, and that showed.
Yeah, certainly. Yang Hyung-mo getting his first start of the season. It was a bit of an odd choice by the manager, Park Hang-ha. No Dong-gun, it was on the bench, so perhaps he wasn't fully match fit. Perhaps there's an injury there we're not sure of, but it was an unexpected switch, and it didn't work out for Suwon. What was kind of a fairly even first half. I don't think there was much difference between the sides, but yeah, the opening goal, Lee Sung-gi with a corner about the 20th minute, and Chae-bo Kyung coming up for the header and slotting it in the back of the net. But the talking point was obviously Yang Hyung-moo's indecision to with the ball coming out within, just his indecision. You could see the look on his face. He got halfway out and realized he had to turn back.
Yeah, to me, this is... I always want to blame the punching side of things, because it just seems like he came out thinking that he was going to punch it, wasn't entirely sure. But I mean, that's just my thing. I don't necessarily think that is what this is here, but the rustiness was showing. And it's another one of those situations where, boy, I just don't understand what Park Hang-ha, the manager, is thinking in this one, throwing in a goalkeeper for his first start of the season against Jeonbuk in the rain. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was a weird decision, and I mean, for the most part of the season, Park Hang-ha's got it right a lot of the time, and I think he got most of it right today. I'm not 100% sure about Joris Jeric starting up top, although he did seem to do quite well in clearing the corners for Suwon. But yeah, I think there must have been something there. I don't think it could have just been tactical. I think there must have been perhaps some injury doubts or something over No Dong-gun. But so that got Jeonbuk off to the best possible start, and then second half reinforcements from the bench. Stanislav Ilyachenko coming on, scoring Jeonbuk's second. It was a really well worked goal actually,
yes.
And Eong managed to get to the byline, pull it back across, and Stanislav Ilyachenko coming in at the near post, head it in for his 5th goal in 4 games now, which is a great start to his career, Jeonbuk, and probably the sole reason why Jeonbuk remain on top of the table despite some underwhelming performances this season.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that. I was going to say, well, he and Mobero teamed up for the third goal there as well, and those goals were pretty easy for Jeonbuk. But I know that before the second half, before the reinforcements came on, you weren't exactly pleased with what you were seeing from the defending champs.
No, they've been very slow in transition this season. They've got averaging 10 shots a game at the moment, and they're placed 11th in the league for shots, but they are also placed first in the league for expected goals. So what we can say is the chances they are creating are very good quality chances. It's just they're not creating them at the rate that they've done in previous years. In previous years, they've averaged between 14 to 16 shots per game. At the moment, 10 is certainly not good enough for a team with the talent on this roster. I think what I did like today, though, is we saw Jeonbuk's defence at its best. Chae-bo Kyung, I've not been a particular supporter of his in last season, especially, but he came in for Kim Min-hyuk today, who was potentially absent with injury. He wasn't in the squad at all, and Chae-bo Kyung put in a great performance. He obviously got the goal, but in defending as well, him and Hong Jong-ho in the centre of the central defence, they cut out a lot of Suwon's crosses. Now I think if Suwon had a poacher that could have picked up on some of those loose balls, then we could have had a very different game. But then again, maybe you have to give credit to Jeonbuk as well for cutting out those chances.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we've gone 5 minutes here, and we haven't talked about one of the big talking points. There were some banners in the stands there in Suwon today, were there not?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to have a Chris Kamara moment here, Ryan, which might not mean anything to you, but I didn't see it, was there? Genuinely, I was looking down at the match, and they were up in the second tier behind me here, and I hadn't noticed at all. I saw them went online later, and then they were unfurling them on Twitter, and yeah, I think obviously there's been a lot of talk in the build up to this match with off-field transfer drama in regards to the signing of Paek Sung-ho. I know everybody's saying different. That Jeonbuk's part of their statement, Suwon's part of their statement, and yesterday Paek Sung-ho, Paek Sung-ho agency anyway, sent out a 3-page statement in Korean that, it also calls out Suwon and says things aren't exactly as straightforward as they were, and saying that he did contact Suwon and didn't get the answer. He contacted them twice and didn't get the answer. So there's a lot of people saying different things at the moment. But that's not going to change the anger in Suwon fans' minds who, they feel that Paek Sung-ho probably owes them something. He does owe them something for the money that he loaned when he moved to Barcelona. The player himself said he's willing to pay that back. But yes, I think Suwon fans feel underappreciated by the player, and I think they've got good reason to.
Yeah, well, he didn't see in the pitch in this one, so we didn't have that much drama there. But yeah, this one again, Suwon coming into this, one of the league's best defenses, and then they went and let 3 in on this one. So was this Jeonbuk starting to click? Because I know one of the big talking points early in the season has been that they haven't looked their best. What was your impression as a whole? Because I know in the first half it wasn't really what you were kind of hoping for, but in the end, 3 goals against the Bluewings, that's pretty good this season.
It is very good this season against Suwon Bluewings, and I think there should be some credit given to Suwon for the performance they put in today. I mean, besides the goals that they conceded, they actually looked pretty good for the most part. They were very good at switching play across the flanks on the counter. There was some really good movement down the wings. EKJ with some nice touches as well. I think Suwon are lacking that goal scorer, but as for Jeonbuk, I think Ilyachenko is making a massive difference at the moment, and he seems to... You could tell the difference with Gustavo on in the first half. Gustavo looks out of confidence, and to be honest, he fell into the trap of some overacting, some play acting, and some fouls and things. Some of them, were fouls. Some of them questionable, let's say at best. But Ilyachenko looks certainly. He seems more of a dynamic player than Gustavo at the moment, and seems to be working well with the players. And we had Young playing today. He was out for the last match against Suwon. He makes a massive difference when he's on. Kim Bo-kyung, I don't think he had a great game today. I think he actually squandered a lot of crosses, squandered a lot of shots, but he's always a threat in the middle of the park. And Lee Sung-gi, I mean, he was injured at the beginning of the season. He's now fit. Jeonbuk are getting all these players back to fitness. Han Kyo-won was on for the majority of the match, where he's been out injured for the most of the season. And they're still waiting on Takehiro Kunimoto. They will have Paek Sung-ho in the upcoming rounds. Maybe not the next round, but the round after, certainly, because he's yet to meet up in train. So I think, the quality is beginning to shine through. I think the injuries are beginning to subside, but there is that worry that they are still very, very slow in attack. Now, the goals today, the second and third goals, really well worked, and perhaps we'll start seeing more of that as the season goes on.
Yeah, just one last thing before we get out of here. I feel like we do have to touch on the Bluewings a little bit, and one of your favorite things to do, because the Bluewings, after allowing a maximum of 1 goal in any game up to this point and holding a lot of clean sheets, they let in 2 in the super match to FC Seoul before the international break, and then they just let in 3 today. Cause for concern for the Bluewings, or is it the fact that they've just faced the first and second teams in the league?
I think more of the latter. I think that we did have concerns that Suwon weren't there yet. I think Suwon fans did have concern that their team wasn't to the level they're expecting. They weren't 100% sure on some of the signings. I don't think Joris Jeric was mixed. It was a mixed, got mixed reaction when he signed. So I think Suwon are still playing very well with the talent at their disposal. And I think that was what we commented on with Park Geun-ha at the Champions League. We saw that he can work with this team when they've got injuries, when they haven't got the depth in squad that Seoul has got, that Jeonbuk's got. But unfortunately, at some point, that's not going to get you past the teams that have got that depth. So I think, yeah, they'll be disappointed. So you want to be never want to lose to Jeonbuk. Certainly, then they definitely don't want to lose to Seoul. But I think they had a spirited performance against Seoul. I think there was a lot of shoots of optimism today. I think they were really well structured in the middle of the park. I think they met Jeonbuk for most of it. So yeah, promise, but I'm sure they'll pick results back up soon.
Yeah, they go to Incheon United next, so they'll be looking to get the win there in just 4 days' time, and hopefully a little bit better weather for them. But speaking of better weather, Matthew, the bunker is nice and dry and warm, so I'm going to end this here. I'm going to let you get out of the rain, and it's Aznawi watch time because the Ansan Greeners are on. So for everybody tuning in, K-League is going in through the night tonight, and all sorts of things going on tomorrow. As always, you can check out the previews, analysis, and everything at kleague.com and kleagueunited.com. But for now, thanks so much for watching.